Hello, we gotta wait for some people to get on here. Welcome to Periscope. I've got some cool things for you today. So definitely excited to go over the Periscope today. If you happen to be on my list, I sent an email out this morning. I put a little blurb on Facebook. I talked about it yesterday. So very excited for you guys to be here. So thanks for the hearts. Apparently, I learned that when you're typing out your title on Periscope, there's only a certain amount of characters that you can fit on there. Ninjas, yes. Because what I was going to say is we're going to do Q&A. If I get enough hearts, I was going to stay on and do Q&A, but it wouldn't let me actually type that in there. So if I get enough hearts on here and I see that you guys are interacting, then I'll absolutely do Q&A at the end. So keep those coming for sure. So welcome. Glad you guys are here. Let me know. I'm curious because these come up really fast, and it's your usernames, which I'm not really sure all of you guys. So let me know where I am. Let me know where you guys are coming in from and what you're doing. So Katie, you're saying good morning. Is this Katie from Australia? If it's morning over there, because we're about 4 o'clock right now Eastern. So let me know what you guys are doing. What's up? And yeah, if you saw it for the title, I was talking about today. What I'm talking about is our ninja marketing strategies today. So I've got some three strategies that if you want to make money online, these strategies you have to use these, and they're ninja. And the reason I call them that is because they're not the same strategies that you're normally going to see. So awesome, Katie. It's 6 a.m. Thanks for being here. That's super cool. And you, Katie, I gotta say, you post the most beautiful pictures on Facebook of sunsets and the beach. So you must be pretty close, or you go there all the time. But the sunset, I think it was, or the sunrise, I think it was sunset that you posted yesterday or the day before with the clouds over it. It was beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh, I love that picture. So keep doing that. I like seeing those lovely Australian pictures over there. So anyway, so if you're marketing online, you want to make money, right? There's a lot of different things that you have to be able to do. And the one thing that, before I get into like little specifics here, the one thing, Chiffon, hey, Chiffon, welcome. Glad that you're here. Yeah, I love this ninja stuff. We've got some cool ninja stuff for you today. So I'm going to kind of scope this here on Periscope as scientific marketing. All right, so think about that phrase. If you're going out there and you're marketing, you want to be scientific about it, because if you want to make money online, you have to have a thought out, well-planned process. I mean, yeah, you can go out there and just throw stuff up and see what happens, and that'll work for a little while, but they're not going to come back very, very much at you, and you're going to have to do a lot of testing and stuff. So scientific marketing is kind of thinking about going out through your process, and if you've got the knowledge and you go out there and you do the action, so you learn about something and you go out there and do the action, then you have understanding, all right? So think about that with your marketing. If you learn it, you go apply it, you do it, you've got complete understanding over that. If you learn something but then you do nothing, all you really have is some facts that someone told you. You don't have the full, complete understanding. And so when you are, I wonder if we have a bad connection because the numbers keep going like up and down and stuff. So when you're out there marketing, one of the little, ninja strategies it's not really ninja, it's not really even a big strategy per se. Welcome. Hey, Byron, it's good to see you. One of the things is to think about, if you learn something, you can talk about it, you can share it, but you got to go out there and do it, because if you don't actually have the doing it, then it's actually not going to work. And Jason, you bring up an absolute great point. Like, what? You actually got to do something with this stuff. You can't just go out there and make some money. And of course, wouldn't that be nice if we could? But if we did, then if you could, everybody would be doing this, and which is great, but it wouldn't be that big of a deal. And so being able to market online consistently and for a long time, then yeah, you got to be able to actually do some stuff, okay? So that's not really the ninja marketing strategy. That is just one topic to be like, think about that. You got to go out there and actually do stuff, because then you will have a deeper understanding and be able to apply a lot more stuff to your marketing. So first one, and I usually always have a pen in my hand when I'm talking, but usually I'm not on camera, so that could probably be annoying. I'll think about that. All right, so first one is, what is the first one? I wrote them down because I didn't want to be like, what is the first one? Oh yeah. when you're speaking to your audience, and we talk a lot about this in Results 513 in our home study course that we're going to be coming out with, we talk a lot about the whole avatar. And this is not going to be an avatar training, and if you're new, it's not the blue people that are in the movie Avatar, it's your perfect customer. And there was one picture that I put on our Instagram account, like, I don't know, like 6 months ago, and it was a picture of just like this lady's lips, and it just said one. And I loved it because it was so simplistic, but it was such a big message of one. So if you're marketing online and you want to be able to make money, one of the things you have to do is you have to speak to one person. And of course, obviously, you want it to be your avatar and you want to do all of that stuff. But again, this is not an avatar training. But when you're speaking to someone, or you're writing an email, or you're doing a video, or you're speaking to like a presentation, you always want to think about just one person on the other side of your screen, or the other side of your phone if you're doing like a conference call or something. Because if you start thinking about the group as a whole in your mind, you'll use different language, you'll use different speak. Oh, Justin, thank you. I forgot to say that. He's sharing this on Twitter. So yeah, if you guys are here, tap the little guy and swipe it, and you can share this with your followers. If you're tapping it and you're not following me, make sure you tap the little guy and follow me. Click the little check and share this, because yeah, if you're catching the replay, a lot of people are catching the replays. We want to make sure that you're sharing this and you'll be able to get my updates. But so yeah, I appreciate that. Forgot to mention that. But anyway, so you're speaking to one person. Your speak, the stuff that you're actually going to say when you're talking to one person is going to be different than when you're talking to everybody. And yeah, of course, Jason, you're always wanting to talk to your dream client and talk to that person. The biggest place I see that is sometimes people will say you, or when you're writing an email and you say they, or hey, everybody. Periscope, completely different thing. I'm not just talking to one of you guys. I'm talking to everybody listening. This is a group thing. This is a completely different animal than like direct response marketing. That's when you're really speaking to one person. And if you have a list, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 50,000, it doesn't matter. If you have a list and you're sending out an email blast, you want to make sure that when you're writing that email, in your mind, you are speaking to that one person, and you're not speaking to the masses. Because people, you guys, even you don't want to feel like you are just part of a group. You want to feel special. You want to feel like someone knows you and they're speaking directly to you. So that's really like the first ninja marketing tip. Because if you do this when you're trying to market online and you're speaking to just one person, just psychologically, and the feel that's going to come from it is going to be a little bit different. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. This one little thing, it's just a small tweak, but it can have a big difference in your marketing, especially when you're doing direct response type of marketing. So if you're doing social media, yes, Justin's fun. If you're doing social media and it's on an engaging platform where you're trying to get a lot of people, then that's not actually what I'm talking about. I'm really talking about this tip for more direct response, dealing with your list, speaking on videos to a specific person. That's definitely, you want to take away that one tip right there and try to catch yourself. If you're using language, go back and reread what you did or what you wrote and see, did I speak to one person, or am I using like speaking to the masses? And can you make someone special? Can you help them identify with something going on in your head so that maybe they can relate to you? People want to be able to relate to you. All right, so that's marketing ninja tip number 1 for you today, to be able to help you make a little bit more money online. All right, so what was number 2? Yeah, it's not always about the money. That was marketing ninja tip number 2. And so, by the way, for those of you that are on here and are watching the replay, I will be doing a webinar tomorrow night, which is Thursday. Thank you, Chiffon. I'm glad you're enjoying this. Thursday, Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. I'll be doing a webinar with Justin talking about the 6 steps to 6 figures. So I'm not actually talking about what I'm talking about right now. Way better, way more exciting. So you definitely want to register for that. So if you're interested, making money on the internet, if you're trying to be an online marketer, if you're trying to basically build your type of business, you want to be on this webinar. If you're not making $5,000 a month consistently, you want to be on this webinar. You can go to results513.com/webinar 6, the number 6. It could go that way, not really sure. Clifton, welcome. I haven't seen you in forever. I just saw your thing pop up there, so it's good to see your name. All right, so that was marketing tip number 1. Always make sure you are speaking into the singular. One person right there. Howdy. Okay, so Byron, that's like the 5th time you've joined. I don't know, maybe you have a bad connection. I keep seeing your name pop up here. All right, so marketing tip, ninja tip number 2, if you want to make money on the internet, number 2 is, honestly, this one, I used to hate it when people said this to me, not to me personally, but when I would hear it when I was getting started, people would always say, it's not about the money. Keep the hearts coming, guys, because I am in a contest with Justin and I'm trying to beat him and he's still beating me right now. So the more hearts that I get, the more tappity tap taps, you get to push me up a little bit. And I'm far prettier than him, so you should be giving me more. Thank you. Perfect. Right. All right. So it's not about the money. People used to say that a lot, and I don't know if I don't hear it as much as I used to, or maybe I was more sensitive to it before, but it's not about making money online if you want to make money. And it's so counterintuitive, and it doesn't make sense because when you're getting started online and you're trying to make money, the reason you're there is because you want to make money. Like, you're like, I don't have thousands of dollars to buy this stuff. I don't have thousands of stuff to actually, you know, all these hours in the day, or if I had all this money, I wouldn't need to make money. I need to pay my bills. A lot of that is stuff that I hear when I was working with, one-on-one or small groups with people that were just getting started. And here's the thing. If you want to be successful online, and I mean successful, you don't want to just make a couple bucks here and there. You want long-term success, right? I mean, that's why you guys are all here, right? You don't want to just have a few bucks coming in every once in a while. You want long-term success. And so you have to be, you're right, there's the hearts. I mean, absolutely. And feel free to type in too, because you guys interacting with me makes it a lot more fun than me just talking to my little computer screen, which is weird because I'm so used to doing webinars and videos where I don't see myself. It's kind of weird to like see myself like right back at me. It's a little distracting, honestly. So yeah, it's not really about the money. So what, if you want to be successful and you want to have that true success, you have to have something farther along than the money, and it also has to deal with helping people. And you have to truly believe it also. Now, this is why this trick is ninja. All right, because it's very easy to say, well, what's your why? You got to think about your why. You guys have all heard, what's your why? You need to know your why. Of course you do, right? But until that why really, really, really does come to fruition, like to your core, and until it has to deal with helping other people, and you really believe that, you're not going to be able to have the success that you actually want. Because if you're on the internet and you're building a business and you're not just doing like e-commerce, it's a relationship business. People are not here following you because of the business that you have, the product that you have. People are here following you because of you. And that means you're giving out value to them and you're helping them. In exchange, they're going to want to follow you. In exchange, they're going to want to buy what you have and they're going to want to know everything about you. That's the ninja part about it, is because it's like a second thought. If you really want to help people, it's going to come across in everything that you do. And a couple years ago, you could totally fake it. You could be like, of course I want to help you. And you never even had to show your face. Like, you could do that. You can't do that anymore. You have to be out front and center, be doing videos. You have to put yourself out there. You have to let people see every side of you. And you can't fake that you want to help. You just can't do it. Maybe if you're like a, Oscar-winning actor, you could possibly do that. But people know what's real and what's not. And so if it's all about the money, if you're just dependent on like, oh my gosh, if this person buys, I'm going to make $500. I need the money so bad. It's going to come across in everything that you do. You're going to sound a little bit desperate. You're not going to come across as, giving out the value. And so even when you're struggling, even when it really is about the money, even when you just need that $500 to be able to pay your bills at the end of the month, even if you're in that situation, you have to be able to take a step back and detach yourself from the outcome so that you can really just help that person. Because then that's usually when you're going to see that it's coming back. So thank you for the hearts on that one. That is a ninja tip. Because it's not really marketing. It's not like you need to click here. It's not like this black hat strategy. But it is something that will have a huge impact on the results that you actually get. So if you don't quite get that yet, I would encourage you to actually watch the replay of that because it's a really big concept and it's kind of like a big concept too, but it's a big one. So it's not just your why. It's not just about the money. You actually have to want to help people and you really have to believe it. And, you know, on this same point, there's like this little curve that you're trying to believe it. You're like, of course I want to help people. I just want to help people, but God, I need the money, right? You're like, I really need the money. And you're on this like little struggle curve where you really, really want the money. And then you actually make the money. And it's really when you get to that point when you start making this money and you start to realize it's really not about the money. There's like usually this little epiphany that's going to show up that's like, you know, I thought it might have been about the money because I really did want the money. But once you get that money, it's not. I mean, money is amazing and it's going to bring you a lot of happiness because you can do things with it. But at the end of the day, it's being there to help people and help give value is really where you're going to have the big ahas and you're going to have the huge following right there. So, Shelly, welcome. We've got some early risers on the other side of the world right now for you guys that are coming in here live. So welcome. All right, so that was Marketing Ninja tip number 2. And if you just hopped on, you missed an awesome one. You got to catch the replay because number 2 was pretty cool. Thank you for the hearts. Keep them coming. All right, so here is my actual marketing strategy because I figured the first 2, they're kind of abstract, a little bit out there, but very ninja because if you don't do them, that's what makes them ninja right there. Hello. So it's nice to see you here. All right, so number 3 really is a marketing one. So for those of you that are hopping on and this is making money, you want to make money online, obviously you got to be able to market online. So ninja tip number 3 is something that you want to make sure that as you are actively marketing and you're on the internet, you're trying to generate leads, you're trying to be making sales, you want to ideally have 2 types of marketing. You want to have some free marketing and you want to have some paid marketing. And this really just depends on 1047. Okay, Atlas 22. Who is that? What is your Atlas 22? What is your name? Because I don't remember if I already knew that, but I'm very curious who that is. So that totally just distracted me because you wrote 1047 on there and I was not expecting to see that. Okay, so free and paid strategies. Okay, yeah, so starts with the cat. Atlas 22. Kimball. That makes sense. Awesome. Yeah, because you're 22. Okay, sweet. Nice to see you. I know exactly who you're talking about. What is 1047? It's this huge inner story that threw me for a loop for a moment there. That will be another story for another day. I think so. It's not going to be for today, but it's a great story. I love it. Okay, so regroup marketing because yeah, this is not about marketing. All right, so, so it really depends on where you are inside your marketing strategy, all right? If you're absolutely brand new, no, I don't suggest this, but if you're generating your own leads, you're building a list, or you're sending to affiliate, you want to make sure you're doing a free strategy and a paid strategy, all right? Because here's the deal. The free stuff, like this is obviously free. It doesn't cost anything for Periscope. And Periscope is really awesome. You can do a lot of stuff with it. So if you're not actually on here and starting to generate a following, you want to start getting on here because, you know, you can repurpose this stuff. You can save it to your camera roll. You can upload it to YouTube. You know, they're live broadcasts. You can interact with people. Here's what's interesting. Total sidebar, but it relates to this. Last week, so I started doing Periscopes every day. And then last week, I completely went offline. I was working on a big old project, which tomorrow night, Thursday, webinar, results513.com/webinar 6, number 6. Register for that. But I was working on a humongous project. I didn't do anything in social media. I barely posted on Facebook. I didn't do any Periscopes. And it's interesting how fast followers can go away when you don't stay consistent. Because, you know, looking at the numbers now, it's definitely a lot lower. And that's what I've noticed this whole week coming back on. Before, we had a lot more people on live. Now, I checked some of the replay and I'm definitely getting a lot more people, but it's just interesting. You have to stay consistent when you're doing free marketing strategies because the internet's just so full of everybody trying to get themselves out there that if you don't set yourself apart by doing something, you're just going to blend in with the crowd. So for one, you want to stay consistent when you're doing free marketing strategies, but you want to do free marketing strategies. And that's Facebook, it's YouTube, it's Periscope, it's Instagram. It's showing the inner side of your life, the behind the scenes. Yeah, and Chiffon, that's exactly right. That's the next point. But that stuff takes a while. All right. It takes you a long time to build up those followings, for people to continuously see you and relate to you. And that's okay. It's part of the process. You have to understand the process. But in today's day and age, one, you're usually going to be frustrated if that's the only thing that you're doing, because you want to have instant results, and you won't get instant results with just free advertising. So paid advertising, I love the red hearts, and I think I just saw Sandy pop on here, so thank you. Helping me bump myself up on the contest right there. And I'll do Q&As for you guys also. Like I said, if I get enough hearts on here, I'll totally stick on and do some Q&As. My kids aren't here. They're at Grandma's house. It's quiet. I've got plenty of time. Love it. So yeah, I could hang out with you guys for a while. But yeah, so if we want to have instant results, right? And of all the stuff, like when you put your funnels together and you put your capture page and you work so hard on getting your copy and you work so hard to get all that stuff together, you want to know if it works, right? And so that's when the paid strategies can come in, and you can send out some ads and you can get instant traffic to your site. You can look at your numbers, you can see, and you can at least get a baseline. Because that way, if you've got some paid stuff coming in, you know, like, okay, this is what I got. So this is what the capture page conversion rate was, and this is how many people went on, and this is how many people opened it. You can test all that stuff while your free marketing strategy is working. And I talk a lot about this inside 513, inside the active marketing stage, when we talk about leverage content, where it doesn't take a lot of time and effort to do all of this stuff. But once you put your paid ad out there, like, you got to wait a little bit. You got to let it run. If you do a solo ad, I mean, that's probably not going to go out for maybe a week. Once you do some Facebook marketing or some banner ads and stuff, that stuff takes a while. So what are you going to do while you're waiting for those stats? Well, you should be doing some free marketing strategies. You should be able to be doing all of it at the same time with different calendars. So like, okay, today's free marketing, today's checking up on the stats, and have that done. So that's why that's another little marketing ninja strategy, and that's a legitimate online strategy for you guys. Make sure you're doing that, because you want to make sure you're leveraging the best of both. And then you can kind of get like an even line and say, like, well, wait a minute, the people that are coming from social media, wow, there's a lot lower of people, but those are where the buyers are coming from, versus like, oh my gosh, I'm getting tons of clicks coming from, you know, this banner over here, but nobody's buying. That's the kind of stuff that you want to be knowing. That's the kind of stuff that you actually want to know, to be able to be a real marketer. Okay. So if you're not doing any of that, that's okay, but you want to make sure that you get to that level, so that is what you're doing, so that you can have a full, complete, well-rounded business. So, first thing, for those of you guys that popped on late, scientific marketing. If you know the knowledge, if you know the knowledge and you do the experience with it, you have a full understanding. If you know the knowledge, but you don't do anything with it, it's just facts. All right, you want to make sure that you are experiencing the stuff that you're learning. Then you can have a deeper level, and you can understand really why it's working. All right, it's not always about the money. That was actually 2. I skipped it. It's not always about the money. You got to go beyond it. You got to be able to say, I really do want to help people, and you got to believe it in your core, because when you believe it in your core, that's when the money comes. And if you're just focused on the money, it's got a fancy way of working itself out where it just usually doesn't show up. So that was number 2. Number 1, I skipped them. Speak to one. Make sure you're only speaking to one person when you're talking to your entire list, because this is the ninja part of it. Psychologically, you're going to speak a little bit different. They're going to understand you a little bit different. And one paid strategy and one free strategy. So there was some really cool tips for you guys. And did you guys like that? Let me know, like hearts or chatting or something, because we got some people on here and my engagement's like, probably because you guys are listening and it was so awesome, right? There we go. Thank you. Tap, 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 tap away. So that brings me to the one thing I really wanted to share with you guys is that, thank you, Shelly, a purple heart. I like that one. Tomorrow night, Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m., Justin and myself, Justin's my business partner, we are doing a webinar. So if you have followed us at any point, or if you're hopping on here now, oh, You say, all right. Well, you know what? You did the webinar and you had one person on it. Totally cool. All right. I've definitely done many webinars, where I've had less than 10 people on it. So it's totally cool. And you just keep doing them and more people. And that's like the thing. I mean, a webinar is a free strategy, and more people, the more you do it, the more people are going to come see, and your name will start getting out there. People will start talking about like, hey, did you see that? She's doing trainings on this. And it'll start it'll just have that snowball effect where you don't know if it's really working and you don't know if it's really working, and eventually it'll come. I remember I used to go to a lot of events. I still go to a lot of events, but in the beginning I went to a lot of events to really just help myself get further along and meet people and all that stuff. I think it was my second year, and I don't remember which one it was. It could very well possibly have been No Excuses because I went to the first one. I think it might have been No Excuses too. I had somebody come up to me, and I met them, and they're like, I've been on your email list for almost a year now. And I was like, really? I didn't recognize their name. So like they didn't come to my webinars, and I don't know, at that time, I'm sure I had a couple thousand on my list or something, but I didn't recognize their name. I didn't recognize them. And they're like, I've been on your list for a year now. And she said, I love your emails. I can't wait to open them. That blew me away. I had no idea because honestly, not that many people replied to my emails. I had really no idea if they were actually opening them. And then to have someone come up to me in person and be like, I've been on your list for a year. I love your emails. You tell such great stories. I was like, wow, that's so cool. So you don't ever know. You never know who's listening, who's doing stuff. Most of the time, people will like reply back or tell you something when it's negative. So if you ever get a positive comment, that's without asking for it, that's amazing. Okay. So yeah, you just got to keep working forward, keep moving forward, and your efforts definitely will pay off. And that's when Katie, you have no idea who's watching. And that's when the snowball effect will start to happen. Consistency for 3 months. And most people won't do it for 3 months. Consistency for 3 months is going to catapult you as long as you're interacting, you're doing it genuine, you're doing call to actions, obviously, telling people where to go, like the webinar tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You want to be on that. So if you're coming to this late, if you just hopped on, if you've never heard of me before, if you want to make money or you're online, you're marketing right now, you want to build a business, if you're not being consistent with $5,000 a month, and I mean that right there, like that should be like the mark right there. If you're not consistently making at least $5,000 a month, there's some reason why, and you want to make that consistent, and it's going to go up and down like this for a long time. The goal is to get it consistent and then scale it, okay? But we're doing a webinar tomorrow night, 6 steps to 6 figures, proven process. I'm very excited about this webinar. I haven't done it in a while, and it's nothing like I've ever done before. This webinar which is something I was working on last week, but I wasn't working on the entire thing. This webinar, I'm very, very excited about presenting, and I think you guys will. I know you guys will enjoy it. So you want to be on it. All right. We're going to go over some 3 secrets, and they're kind of like these ninja tips. Like they're the small things. It's the stuff that's in here that messes with you, that doesn't give you the results. And so these 6 steps are really going to help you get to 6 figures. So I can't write on the screen. I should have had a paper that I could have put up here. Results513.com/webinar. WEBINAR 6, because it's 6 steps. All right. It's on my Facebook page or Facebook wall, both of them actually. So register for that. You want to be on there. You want to share that, because if you're working with a team, if you're a network marketing company, if you've got other people that are, in your system or whatever, and they're not getting results, if it's going to help you, share it. Like people want to be on that. You absolutely do. And we're only doing it live. There's no replay on it. So you want to make sure that you be there. All right. Cool. All right. Be a self-thinker. Go out there and market. Be on our webinar tomorrow night, Thursday. If you're catching the replay, it'll be right after this. This will play for 24 hours. And so, yeah, definitely be on that. All right. I did say I would do Q&A, and I've got time because, I was going to ask you guys something who was ever on here. I got Q&A. I've got some time. If you want to ask me a question, Terry, welcome. If you want to ask me a question, absolutely, type it in here. I will stay here as long as you guys want and answer questions. But I have a question for you also while you're doing that. My kids aren't here. I have the entire night off for quite a while, and I don't really want to go anywhere because it's quiet and it's calm, and I would like to enjoy this. So I was thinking I want to watch like maybe even 2 movies. I want to chill out later today and like not have to share the television, not have to be like, what do you want to watch? Or, oh, you can't watch this, which means I can't watch it. What is a good movie? That's what I want to hear. You guys are still here. What is like your favorite movie? I'm a huge action adventure person. I do love those type of movies. Comedy. I don't want like any drama because I don't really want drama. Action adventure or comedy. What would be good ones that I would want to watch tonight? Because I love movies. Absolutely love them. So if you've got something on here that I haven't seen, or even if I've seen it, I'll watch movies 10 times. I don't care. So let me know that, and I'll take your question. So Chiffon, it looks like you have a question. How did you know How did you know that your business was able to support you? I want to make sure I completely understand. How did I know that, like, when my business was going to be able to support me, or did I believe that my business was going to be able to support me? I'm going to kind of take it with that one. So I think that's Sandy, right? Bad Words. That's the name of the movie. Bad Words. I thought you were saying, like, the kids can't listen because there's bad words in it. I'm going to write that one down because I've never heard of it. Perfect. What other movies, guys? Like, let me know. Like, what's a good movie to watch because I have some time today and I want to watch that. Okay, cool. All right, so Chiffon, when did I know that this business was going to support me? When you know what? I never doubted that it wasn't going to. I knew, because just with my personality, I was never going to quit until it did. As soon as I made, like, my first income online, like, as soon as someone actually that I didn't know paid me for something, and I didn't talk to them, like, I was like, okay, this will work. Like, someone just paid $20 and I got that money. This is going to work. Like, there's no reason why this wouldn't work for me. So that was kind of my thing. I just knew, oh, Jackal. Oh, I haven't seen that in forever. That is a good movie. I like that. Old Dogs Share on Netflix. I'm writing these down. So yeah, Chiffon, to answer that question right there. When I started, I didn't have another job. Like, I had my 3 kids, and that's totally not true. I did have another. I worked part-time as a preschool director, so that was something else. Is this webinar for new people? I think you'll definitely get some insight if you're not new. You should be on that also. But also just to kind of see what we're doing. We're switching directions and stuff, so this is kind of like one last thing. We did something really cool, and so yeah, it's not for brand new people, but it's not for huge advanced people either. But I think even if you're experienced, you'll definitely get something out of it. And that's almost like ninja tip number 4, because it can go 2 ways. Chiffon, I'll answer you in a second. But like ninja tip number 4, in this industry, like if you hop on trainings that talk about some beginner stuff, you will probably get some type of like an aha. Just by watching stuff that you already know, because now you're more experienced and you're going to go back and be like, oh yeah, you'll hear it a little bit different, or you might just get like a deeper understanding. And so that's one thing. The other thing is that if you go to a training and someone's talking about something and you know everything that person is talking about, like it's not new and you know it, it's like this like huge confidence boost that you'll be like, oh dude, like I know all of that. Like, oh my gosh, I'm not new. I know that. It just kind of gives you this little confidence where you can go out and share it and just feel a little bit better about your posture because you just attended a training where you could have taught the entire thing. So that's why I do suggest that. But honestly, like I will go back and I'll go back and listen to trainings or people are doing something. I already know everything about it, but there's usually something that I will catch maybe at a different level, or they will say something a little bit different way, and I'll pick something up on it. So I always get something worth it. But yeah, Chiffon, to answer your question, I was just I was working part-time hours, and I just never stopped. And as soon as the money was coming in consistently enough that I was able to stop that part-time job, then I did. So, and it just continued to grow from there. So, Good question. Any other questions? Because if you're not asking, I'll be heading off. And you guys didn't give me, I mean, I got like 3 movies here, really? That's it. There's way more than you on here. So maybe you're just, although I guess if you're on the web, I don't think you can actually type in. I don't know. I've never listened on the web, but like when you go back and listen or look at the replays, it says like, 50 people on the web. Maybe you can't actually type in on that. I've always wondered, because can you tap on the screen if you're listening on the web? I don't think you could. So, interesting. Anyway, all right, well, they can tweet you. Thank you, Shelly. Yes, they can. So if you have any cool movie names or anything that I could watch later, Sharknado is better. Really? Sharknado, I heard about that one. Okay, so you can type, but you can't do hearts. Thank you. I always wondered, so that's kind of what I was thinking. Cool. Appreciate that. Sharknado. All right, guys. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that very much. Register for the webinar tomorrow. Results513.com/webinar 6, the number 6. Yeah, replays, you can't interact. You can really just kind of watch. So that's why you want to try to get on live. But either way, so yeah, Terry, I knew what you were talking about. I'd never seen it, but I've heard of it. So cool. Alrighty, guys, I will probably hop off. No, she's like, no, don't watch that. I'm going to go ahead and hop off. I've got one more training that I need to stick into a brand new membership area. And then I think I might be calling it a night. So awesome. Thank you guys for hanging out. Appreciate it. If you're watching the replay, results513.com/webinar 6, the number 6, get you registered for tomorrow night. Show up early, and I'm excited for it. Like, I am probably more excited to do this webinar that I have been in maybe over a year, maybe even 2 years, honestly. Like, I'm not showing it right now, but I could like do flips and stuff. Like, I'm excited to do it. And that should be one of my Periscopes. I need someone else to hold the camera, but like I flip around all the time in my house, and it's strange. Most people don't do that. So I was thinking, I'm like, oh yeah, I should do Periscope. Like, one of the kids should like hold the phone, and I can show you the craziness of, like, I always do handstands when I'm waiting for the microwave. Like, that's just weird, but it's like, oh, I'm waiting for food in the microwave. I might as well do a handstand and just hang out. It's something I've always done. So, side note, something weird you didn't know about me. All right, guys, have a great day. Appreciate it, and I will talk to you soon.